He had everything a man could dream of: a mansion that touched the clouds, cars that gleamed like silver, a wife who adored him, and a son who called him hero. But one mistake, one heartbeat of forbidden love, was all it took to lose it all. The Kim mansion stood like a monument to perfection. Every corner sparkled, every room echoed with quiet luxury. Yet behind the polished glass in the golden lights, there lived silence, cold and endless. Han Kim, the millionaire everyone admired, walked through his kingdom like a stranger in his own story. His wife Eun-ji smiled for the world, but her eyes were tired. She had grown used to waiting, waiting for dinners that never happened, waiting for his voice that faded into phone calls and meetings. Their son Min-ho had learned to play quietly because laughter didn't belong in that house anymore. Then one ordinary morning, a new maid arrived. Her name was Su-min, young, humble, and shy. She moved like a whisper, careful not to disturb the walls that carried secrets. Her kindness wasn't loud, but it was real. She laughed softly with Minho, helped him draw, and spoke to him as if he were the most important boy in the world. Han noticed her once, then twice, and soon too often. She had something that money couldn't buy: peace. At first he tried to ignore it, but late nights at his desk turned into quiet talks. She would bring him tea, listen without judgment, and in her eyes he saw warmth. Something his mansion hadn't known for years. It wasn't desire that came first. It was recognition. The kind that happens when two lonely hearts meet in silence. Days turned into weeks, and the invisible line between them blurred. He began finding excuses to stay near her. Small conversations that lasted too long, glances that said too much. Yunji saw the change before anyone else did. Wives always do. The way he smiled at his phone, the way he looked out the window, lost in thought. But she said nothing. She just waited, hoping she was wrong. The night truth arrived. It didn't knock. It shattered. Rain fell hard against the glass. Yunji walked down the long hallway, Minho's hand in hers. She heard laughter, soft and unfamiliar. And when she turned the corner, she froze. Han stood by the piano, his arms wrapped around Su-min. The maid's head rested against his chest, eyes closed. For a moment, the world stopped breathing. The child's toy slipped from his hand. Yunji's tears came before her words. "Minho is watching," she whispered. Han turned, his face pale. Su-min stepped back, guilt heavy in her eyes. But nothing could be undone. One embrace had broken a home built on years of sacrifice. That night, the mansion that once gleamed with gold turned gray with silence. By morning, Han was gone. He left behind everything: wealth, family, respect, chasing a love he believed was real. The world called him insane. The newspapers called it scandal, but he called it freedom. Years passed. The empire he built began to crumble. Money disappeared, friends vanished. Only Su-min stayed. They lived simply, away from the noise, away from judgment. For a time it was peaceful, but fate has a cruel sense of balance. Illness came for Su-min, slow and merciless. Han watched helplessly as the woman he gave up everything for faded away in his arms. Her final words were soft and trembling. "You gave up the world for me," she said, "but don't forget who you were before love blinded you." When she was gone, silence returned, colder than ever. The once mighty millionaire was now just a man with trembling hands, haunted by memories of a house filled with love he had destroyed. One rainy evening, a letter arrived at the Kim mansion. Yunji opened it slowly, her fingers shaking. It was from him. "I searched for happiness in another heart," it read, "but found only regret. I left the world that worshipped me and lost the only one who truly loved me. I am sorry, not because I fell, but because I forgot what love already was." Tears blurred her vision. Outside, rain slid down the windows like her own reflection. She looked at her grown son, Minho, and whispered through the ache, "He left for love, but forgot the love he already had." The mansion lights flickered softly. The same home that once knew laughter now held forgiveness. Somewhere far away, Han closed his eyes for the last time, his heart finally still. The price of a forbidden love paid in full. Sometimes the richest hearts are the ones most empty inside, And sometimes losing everything is the only way to understand what love truly costs.